What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I always get kind of confused on these live streams. I'm uh, I'm Bill. How you doing? So today's episode is cool. We're gonna have Lou on, and I'm gonna bring him up, and we're gonna talk about how to get pieces of content that you have to monetize it and put it on chain. Because I think the keyword on chain is like such a it's a topic that people know to say it, but they don't really know what it means, and it's kind of confusing. But as creators, as if you're a meme project, if you're anyone who has something artistic, the future is on chain because you can get paid for your work way more than like traditional Spotify or traditional like Instagram, Facebook, where you're making them rich. So things are changing. I'm gonna bring up Lou, and then we'll start, sharing this out. So without further ado, I'll bring up Lou. Lou, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Bill. Great to see you, brother.
Great to see you too. I'm gonna take 2 seconds to kind of like send this out to some people. If you can send it to your community, so that way more people can watch and kind of learn what's going on.
How do I
Uh,
send it? Like, how
okay.
do I share this?
So if you go, okay, so right now it's live on X. So let's see. If you want to just share this with people, let me.
Are you sending me the link on Twitter?
No, I'm gonna send it to you uh in here in the private comments and in the regular comments. Let me send it. Tell me if you know where you sent me
Yeah, I got
the.
it.
All
Yep,
right,
I
so
just was able to
send
copy
that.
that link, so I could just
Yeah,
put
just
that
send that to
in.
people.
Got it.
Um,
I'll make a post.
yeah, perfect. Just make a post. Like I said, we want to get as many people in this to learn what's going on. All right, so yeah, we'll wait for Lou. So while Lou's waiting, so guys, on-chain's the new economy. On-chain is the way things are going to be done in the future. And I think the sooner people know about this, the faster you'll have to be kind of like a leader in the space. And for those that don't understand, like the amount of money technically you can make as a creator is just ginormous. So Lou, I don't know if you know this, but there's a guy on Warpcast. Um, and I'm gonna screen share it. He's made over about, I think he said he's joined over the 100 ETH club, and all he does is he pushes podcasts. He's minted. He's like the number one podcast, I guess, guy distribution. He's created something called Bello. We'll get into that, but like he has shown the phenomenal amount of being able to monetize your work. So you have people like podcasters, you have musicians, you have artists putting it on chain for people all around the world to mint. I put up my Jesse Pollock one, got on Coinbase Wallet and stuff. I made about over 1.5 ETH, and it's free mint. So it's like I'm just getting fees in perpetuity, right? So that's amazing. Just a piece of content going on and being able to monetize it just showed me kind of like, hey, this is what's available and what's the things that we can do. So Lou, tell me, what is it that you want to monetize? What were you thinking? And let's
I
brainstorm
don't
and go.
know, Bill. That's an interesting question that I have to ask myself as well. But before we even get there, how tell me how free mints converts into monetization.
So the free mints, it's technically not free itself because I think you have to still pay like while it's free, I think the processing fee is still like $1.77,
That's
like
free.
on Zora
Yeah.
or something like that. So obviously you can't expect, hey, 3 minutes. But again, as a creator, and you have sites like Zora, you have sites like pods.media, and we can get into all these things. Dracula, you can still set your mint price. So it really comes down to the power is back in the creator, right? So if a creator wants to do the free mint, then you need to have volume. Obviously, volume, it will translate into like, $1.40 each mint or something like that to make it worth your while. But if you decide, no, I don't want to do that, I just want to charge higher and then hopefully, still have people mint it. Maybe it's $5, $10, whatever the case is, $2.99, you can do it. So the power is in the creator's hands. So it's just like, how OpenSea kind of did it back in the day, and you can still have royalties and all that. They were kind of the trailblazers of doing it on chain, and now it's like not just an NFT though, right? That was just NFTs. Now it's art. Now it's music. Now it's podcasts. Now it's writing. Now it's poetry. Now it's, whatever it is that you want. So, what So I know you were one of the first to kind of reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I'm interested in learning more," and we're going to go through different sites. But what is it about the on-chain world that excites you the most, Lou?
Well, I mean, I think it's something we're seeing, both with the consolidation of technology and people's kind of financial freedom, uh, kind of merging, and so to me, that's just very intriguing. I've been in this space for years. Um, you know, I'm I don't know how much of a content creator I've ever been. I've been a host of spaces for years, and maybe converting, that platform a bit into, some productive interviews with interesting people, like, not so indifferent than you did with Jesse. There's many people that I've come across in this space, and maybe some people that once I start to think about this outside of this space, that possibly, would sit down and have a conversation. Whether that conversation is interesting to anybody, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I do think that there is always, space for people to be themselves, people to be authentic and natural, and to have real conversations, not real, propped up conversations about nothing. I do like the nothingness, as my meme is very Seinfeldian. It's our show about nothing and how we came up with fork and knife. Uh, but I like those mundane conversations that actually have real application in people's lives.
Absolutely. And those are just like how I like it. I like to talk to different interesting people that can add value to different people in different communities. And for me, that's kind of like my focus. So I have a podcast. Traditionally, I'm putting it on Spotify, YouTube, and I still do that thing, but I'm not really making money out of that. So now on chain, let's talk on chain. All right. So you have a concept, Blue. It's the conversation. So for you, and I'm going to go through different kind of scenarios, right? So number one, if you're a content creator and you're watching this, number one, you have to, and I mean you have to be on Warpcast. Have to. Hands down. The Warpcast community is a lot different than X. It's completely separate. So let me show you a screen share. And I'm just kind of going to go and guide you because at the end of the day, what I want to do is hopefully put the power of whoever's listening to this to have the knowledge of like, hey, this is what's available. Let me do it on my own and let me monetize my hard work. I want to give everyone the steps. And obviously, if they need handheld holding and stuff, then you can come to me and I can work with you and all that stuff. But the first thing you have to do as a content creator, I don't care how many numbers you are on X, you have to be on Warpcast, and I'll tell you why. So, Warpcast. All right. This is the Farcaster. This is like let me ask you, Lou, are you on Warpcast?
I am, but I'm one of those people that not only have stumbled with my own experience on the platform, and found it quite a bit frustrating, to be honest with you. Like, so I'm not a lover of it going in, Bill.
So the,
If I'm going to be sincere about this.
no, no, no. Please be sincere because Warpcast is very difficult. I have, 10,500 something followers on X. On Warpcast, I have 240. It's hard. It's hard, but I'm grinding out there. But the reason why you have to, no matter how much you don't like it, and eventually you start getting better and better and you'll start growing because the algorithms are such where if you're under 500 or so, you're invisible. So you just have to keep grinding. But the reason why I stress it doesn't matter what you do. If you're not on Warpcast, the people who are going to mint your stuff, they're on Warpcast. They're the ones who are going to be the leaders. So every big account, because Warpcast is like the ETH old whales, and they're the ones who are really pushing the on-chain revolution. Everything they're doing is on-chain. This is the site where you can still send a message to Jesse and he'll respond to you. He'll follow you. And then like oh man, I had Toady Hawk. Shout out to him. Over 100,000 followers. He's a big deal. He's in the Nouns community. He did an interview with me. Over 100,000 followers. I'm a guy with 220. He's down. These are the type of people that if you put out good stuff, they will mint it because they want to push the on-chain economy forward. So you have to be on here. And the reason also you have to be on here is because, and we'll get to it, when you start minting things directly on Dracula, on Zora, it can automatically convert to Warpcast. So let me show you what's so cool about Warpcast. And again, I feel your guys' pain. I literally have 200. followers. So I'm gonna come back to Naomi because she's shown me what the on-chain economy can do, and I want to show you guys. So here's my thing, 242 followers, whatever. So the cool thing about this is you can mint. So okay, so for instance, they have something called frames. And again, with being an on-chain creator, you need to be able to have as much distribution as possible. What do I mean by that? You have to put as many your art, your creative content in as many platforms as possible to generate distribution, generate more attention, more eyes, whatever. And Warpcast is the one. Twitter is not there yet. The people on X don't care. So for instance, Warpcast. What do I like about Warpcast? You can mint directly on it. So here's something I put on pods.com. So I'll get to that later. You put it on pods.com and then you just copy the link into, like, they call it a cast. It directly, you come up with something like this. So if I'm scrolling through your page, I don't have to do much. I just can click, I can listen to it, or I could just click it and mint directly. And I would continue in wallet, pay the $1.70 because that's this. How cool is that? I don't have to go to any other site, and I can mint it directly. So as a creator, you get little friction. Goes on your page, push mint, money comes to your pocket. They don't have to leave the site. That's how you do it. So you can't. This is only enabled on frames on Warpcast. You do not have this on X. That would be a game changer, but I don't believe X will ever have that because X wants to keep in their algorithms. They want to keep you on the site, so I actually deduct you from like putting other outside links.
And what is
And
frames, Bill? Not to get too basic, but frames is what
yeah,
does that mean?
so okay, let me just shout out to Joel, and I know you're a big follower of the channel. I feel your pain. I appreciate you though, bro. Hit me up at late night on base. I will be your 51st follower. I got you, my man. Okay, so frames. So frames are these things that you can attach to a cast. So okay, so you see how it says aerodrome, central liquidity. You see this box I'm showing you where it says mint.
Yep.
Listen, that's a frame. So when you traditionally do a tweet, but they call it a cast, there is no frame. You could just be like live on stream. So right now I'm going to do a tweet live on stream talking about how to make money on chain. Join us. Okay, so this is just like how we're all used to. This is like a tweet, right? So if I just put that, there's no frame. Like this is when you actually put a link, you can it just shows the link, but there's no frame, meaning like when people say frame, it means putting something where you can have an action taken, right? So by doing this, I'm just doing this. This is just a call it. So if you look at my cast, there's no like, hey, mint this. It's just here's something you can, take and link it, right? So there's nothing here. It's just a normal tweet. So a frame though, and let me show you real quick, kind of like how it would look. So for instance, all right, let's go back to Warpcast. All right, so now you're seeing my Warpcasting, right? So now if I want to do a frame, I have a link. This is a frame. You see the difference? There's actions I can take. You see that?
I do. So versus copying, pasting a normal link, which doesn't turn into a frame,
Yeah.
what converts a frame into
So
a frame?
so that's the thing. So only certain sites will convert to frame. The ones that do are basically catered for the on-chain economy. So pods.media, if you're a podcaster, you go to pods.media, you hit up Lucas, hopefully you have to apply. They've converted it where their links will be developed to a frame. There's other technical ways to do it, but like that's way above my pay grade, way above your pay grade. But the ones that are on Zora, Dracula, you take a link, you can then automatically convert it. It automatically converts it.
It just happens. So if you copy a link from Dracula, it turns into a frame.
Exactly. Not
Got
only
it.
do you copy a link on Dracula, you don't even have to do anything on Dracula, and we'll get to it. On Dracula, you can just post directly, and then it'll give you an option. Do you want to put it to Warpcast? And you just say
Gotcha.
yes. So that's the cool thing. So that's step one. And again, this Jesse Pollock one has minted almost 3,000 mints on this alone with the referrals, because you also get referrals if people back over 1.5 ETH. Not bad. Again, for one single thing, that a piece of content that I've done. So that's the goal. So this is showing you people around the world. And the fact is, if you start monetizing your work and doing things on chain, and you start showing that you're interested in doing stuff on chain, the Warpcast community will support you. They're the ones who want to, help creators get the on-chain economy. They're not really concerned with Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, because it's not pushing the narrative forward. So that's the first thing I'll do. Make sure you have a Warpcast account, and if you need a follow, it's hard. I get it. I'm going to drop
Follow me.
my
Follow me. You might be in my top 5. I'm not sure how many
yes.
followers I have on there.
I feel honored. I'm gonna post right now my Warpcast account as well. If anyone wants to, if you follow me, I follow you right back. Let's all help each other grow, because that's the only way we get more attention. All right, so
I'm
step one.
following you right now. There we go.
Okay, awesome. So let's and again, it is kind of confusing. I know there's different channels, but I've been pushing this for about a month, working hard. I started with like 30 followers. I'm at 242. I'm just grinding every day, posting something. I'm here to help you guys. I know it's extremely difficult. It's easy to give up, but like, let me help you. Hit me up on the DMs. I will help you at any time. All right. So that's step one. Now let's go to the fun stuff. All right. How do we mint? So figure out piece of content. There's 3 different sites that I highly recommend. If you are somebody who wants to post like clips, funny clips, like a TikTok type thing, um, you want to have like funny skits, comedy, whatever, like TikTok, think TikTok. In my opinion, you need to use Dracula. That's just what I would use. Again, and I'm very novice in the fact I know there's all sorts of on-chain stuff for different things, but like I'm just telling you from my perspective what are the top. And again,
Yeah.
no disrespect to anybody building other things or whatever. This is just what I've come across. And one thing I'll show before I get into the Dracula thing, I do need to show you guys one lady, and I want to show you just the potential. Let me go back to Warpcast.
And Bill, I don't think you have to apologize for wanting to show people the platforms where you think, maybe not only yourself, but others might find the most exposure. You know,
Yeah.
we
I
can't
mean,
all be the first in every place and expect it to be a hit. There's things that take off for whatever reason. And I think if it's going to be, your purpose today seems to be trying to be helpful to people's journey.
exactly.
So give them the best advice. This isn't denying anyone else's building capabilities. That has nothing to do with anything. Uh,
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that, Lou. I appreciate that. I'm just here to, if one person thinks this is helpful, great. If it was just you, Lou, I'm down. I don't care about numbers. I don't care about anything except helping people. And if more people are helpful, great. I don't care. But this is stuff that I've learned over the last month and a half of really just kind of figuring it out. So, all right. So I want to go back to Naomi. I think it's sharing it. All right, cool. Or no, this is all right. Naomi. I want to bring up Naomi for one reason. Okay, Naomi. She was on the podcast. She's a track and field star from Great Britain. She's documenting her journey for the LA 2028 Olympic Games. She got accepted into something called Bello. And shout out to you, Naomi. I don't think you're listening to this, but she was actually my inspiration to start putting content on chain. I've been doing this podcast since June, but I didn't take on chain at all serious until talking with her and seeing it. So she participated in this program called Bello.lol. And this guy, Levy.eth, is the chat of the chat. And he has produced over 100 ETH worth of content. And it's insane actually. He's the one who has shown that you can make, and again, not everyone's going to make this kind of money, right? But like he's shown that it is insane how much you could potentially make. Insane. And he has shown that like if you really learn the on-chain economy, you can make more money than you ever imagined possible. So anyways, long story short, he created something called Bello. It was like a 10-person thing where their goal is to get 10 creators over the 20 ETH club, and they're doing it. So you have people like Naomi on it. You have people who are doing singing, people who are like putting their music on there, all sorts of things. So obviously he's shown the power of what you can do. So I just had to show that because it's an inspiration. Okay, so now that's that. So there's money to be had. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's fucking do this. All right. So step one, you have you have some TikTok thing. What you got to do is you got to go Dracula, and shout out to Dracula. So let me stream this. Lou, have you downloaded Dracula?
I no, but you've given me the information. I was waiting to honestly have this conversation.
Okay. So Dracula, let's talk Dracula. Why Dracula? So Dracula is becoming a force, and their CEO is this guy named Alex, and he's everywhere. He's everywhere. All of the big, they have about 57,000 followers on X. They're everywhere and they're creating it. They just integrated with base, and like they're really pushing base only. So when you go to Dracula, here it is. It's very simple, and you create a profile. I'm not going to get into like how to create it. It's super easy. If you don't know how to do that, like, I mean, you really should. If not, hit me up in the DMs. I can help you with
Yeah,
that.
we've all created profiles on different platforms, right?
Yeah,
I got to think that that's pretty
super
low hanging fruit.
super easy. And then the one thing though they'll ask you to do is, when you do create it, it's super easy. But when you do create it, you're going to want to link they'll create a Zora account for you, but you're going to want to link your Warpcast account. And I'll tell you why. All right. So you're on Dracula. And again, you should be a creator. You should not be a consumer. You can look at the feed. If you scroll down, you see other people posting things, blah, blah, blah. People are posting this, and you can buy it directly. So, if you wanted this piece thing, she wants you can buy for $5, and you can preview your buy. You see how you can just directly buy it. So this person put a meme of whatever, whatever the case is. And you can still, you can still comment, You can do everything like you could on TikTok, but you can monetize it. So let's put a piece of content up. Why don't we? So let's go to here. Super simple. So I have 3 Jesse clips. I haven't really taken Dracula seriously at all. And I told Alex, the CEO, that I kind of want to, now that they've you can actually download their app now on the Apple Store. It's out now. So if you're on their app, yeah, it just came out. The new release just came out. So it's on Apple Store. Before that, you had to like download it from the client web app. It's a lot harder. So now it's going mainstream. So today, I believe, is the first day. Shout out to Alex. I'm going to try to work on it more. So anyways, download it when you can. So let's mint something. And again, you can add a token. This is like their new feature.
And it's the one Dracula watch videos.
Yeah, let me see. I think it's Dracula watch videos. Let me just kind of share the screen. It's here. Yeah, Dracula watch videos, exactly. And for those that don't know, here it is. I'll be posting it. Shout out to
Downloading it right
Sonic
now as well.
Magician. Shout out to Gina Kabuti. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching from Kenya. So I just posted in the chat. That's Dracula watch videos. So okay. So let's go to Dracula. All right. So now I want to post something. Let's do it. Let me see if I'm logged in actually. All right. So if you see it, I've linked my X account. I've linked my Warpcast account, but I don't need to do anything. What you do is you hit this button. It's just like a little film roll. All right, so we're gonna just put something up. Let's see, something small, maybe okay, let's go another Jesse clip. Why not? Man, the myth. I have 5 of these things. Okay, so just like with anything, you can type in Jesse inspirational clip 4 of 5 from Onchain Summit. Mint today and watch the podcast live on pods. And then I could just like let me just put the pods.media. Let me just put the clip. 1 second. And again, it's super simple, guys. We all know how to do this. So, okay, I'm just going to show you guys again how to do it. And then I just post that, right? And again, you could do tags and all that. I'm not really concerned. So when you get to this page, you have 2 options. You can share it to Firecaster. I'm connected to Firecaster, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm already connected, and I'm going to show you guys how it is. Next is mint on Zora. This can either be on or off. So if you decide to do it on, what they're going to do is they're going to create a Zora account for you. So anything that you post on Dracula automatically gets distributed onto Zora. So there's options of being able to be on Zora, and there's options on being on Farcaster, which I think is really cool. So once you do that, then you hit post. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So I have both mint on Zora and Farcaster. Let's just go with it. You ready, Lou? You
Yeah.
want me to show you? All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we hit post.
Please.
So we hit post. Creating post. Please wait. All right, let's do it. Seems like, by the way, shout out to all 1,000 viewers currently on. Appreciate you all.
Now, let me ask you a remedial question. Do you have to create the content prior to Dracula and then upload it there, or do you create it directly on there?
No, so I mean, you could actually do live video itself, kind of like with TikTok. You can either do the upload or you can just do like on the fly type thing, right? So
Okay.
these ones that I posted, I've just, have it in my library. I've never posted something live, but I know you can. And I know now with this new app, like I said, their new app is they're trying to make TikTok into the on-chain TikTok, where the data, the creators are the ones making that impact. All right, so you see this creating Zora Mint, please wait. Share your video. Okay, Zora Mint's been created. Your Mint is live on Zora. So we'll check that out. And now it's on Warpcast. I believe it's automatically been on Warpcast, but I'm gonna double check. But if it wasn't, you can instantly say, all right, I want to post on X. Boom, just posted this video, and then you hit it and it's the same video and you got that on X. So that's one thing. If I wanted to go on Warpcast, I click it, it will take me to Warpcast. Check out my video on Warpcast. And let me just see right now if it's
So
already
you're saying you just posted it on X right now?
No. So I can if I wanted to. So
Ah,
watch.
ah, ah.
So let me go back to that. I'm just trying to see. All right.
I'm just watching your feed and just trying to understand the real time,
Yeah. So
nature of
okay.
these
So we're
connections.
so we're we're back on. Yeah, I'm gonna post right now. So we're back on this. You can see my Dracula feed, right? So if I and you see, do you see like the post on X, share on Warpcast, copy link?
Yep.
Okay. So here it is. So posting on X, I just need to click a button. So now let's go to this. I think can you now see my X?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, you should be able to now. If you're on my live stream, you can see that I'm on X now, right? So now this message appears. Just posted this video on Dracula. Test video just minted on my live stream. Showing how easy it is to post on app and then post on X. All right, so now I just did that. So let's see. All right. So if you go, Lou, so now you can see, so now it's automatically been posted. So if you go on X, and again, X doesn't have frame capability, right? So you're just going to have a link. But you see how the link automatically appeared. And again, I can just click it, and then you'll start seeing, boom. Now it just took me to this thing. So it's just simple, easy. It's been posted on X. So now let's post this on chain on Farcaster. So let's go back to, let me go back to the forecaster. So we done it on X. So we minted on Zora. No, sorry, we minted on Dracula. It got onto Zora. It got onto X. And now it's going to go on Warpcast. And let me just show you again how that's done.
Let me give you another just oversimplified question. I don't even know what Zora is.
I got you, brother.
And what's the
So now
relevance of Zora in all this?
I got you, my friend. I got you. So let me go to let me just hold on. Let me just go here. So what we're gonna do is let me start share this tab. All right, so I hit from Dracula. Now I also want it on Warpcast. Check out my new video on Dracula. Again, test video just made on my live stream. Post on X, post on Warpcast. And then so here it is. So now let me show you the cool thing. Let's just go to base creators. All right, so if you're looking at Warpcast, and this is why Warpcast is super important. So look at this. All right, so you're watching this, Lou, right? So
Yep.
you had it on X. So okay, you went to Dracula. Let me show you guys the convergence again. You start on Dracula, and then you mint it, or post it. Then you can mint it, and then it gets directly sent to Zora, which is a different platform, which we'll show you. Then it gives you the ability to link it to X, which we just did. So now it's on X, that same link. You can post it there. And now you can also post it on Warpcast. And the reason why Warpcast is so cool is because this. So now let's go to Warpcast. This is sharing, right? So Warpcast allows you to directly mint it. So if you look at my thing, test video just minted my live stream showing how easy it is to post on Dracula and post on Warpcast. Check out my new video on Dracula. Boom. You see how it created a frame itself? Mint video view on Dracula. That's the power of the Onchain. Because it's an on-chain app, it allows you to create a frame. So now if I'm on your feed on Warpcast and I'm like, wow, Lou, that's a great video you just had. Let me mint it. Boom. I can now mint directly. It takes me to Dracula and I can buy it because I can say, I want to mint this. Mint the video. I can now, I didn't put any price. So I just decide I want to mint it. So I'm going to mint my first video. Why not? You hit mint. You have your smart wallet.
So as a creator, you're connecting a wallet to Dracula?
Exactly. You're connecting a wallet to Dracula, and then when you have like the Coinbase smart wallet, you have like a smart key or something. So you have to sign with your pass key, which is just, that's just all the technical stuff. But I'm just showing you how to mint it. So you see, I did nothing except waiting it for it to confirm, and then I mint it. So the one thing, see, boom, you see it minted. So that is how you make money on Dracula. And again, all this is not going to mean anything if you don't work on the distribution and actually getting yourself known. So don't expect, hey, I'm going to put this video, millions of people are going to follow it. Just like with any, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on YouTube, you still need to distribute it. You still need people to know what you're doing, right? Marketing. But once you have followers, once you have people, then you need to capitalize on that. So now let's go on to Zora. All right, so that's how that one's done. So now let me show you what Zora is. So let's go there. All right, so now when you're back onto Zora, so far, Lou, what are your thoughts on everything?
And I mean, super interesting. It would be remarkable if I got millions of views having 3 followers on Warpcast. That I just checked. I have 3.
Well, you're gonna have 4 after this. But
Bill, you got to be my 4th. No, I'm kidding. I'm giving
it
you a hard
doesn't
time.
matter though, Lou, about
No, it's the
Farcast.
process that I'm learning here
Yeah,
is
but
what's important.
absolutely. But what you need to understand is you don't need Farcaster to succeed. I just want you to think of that as like one part of the vertical ladder. It's cool to have, it's great, but it's not needed. So if you have your following on X, you have your following on a different sites, as long as you can direct them to sites like Dracula, that's all that matters. So I think if you build your following and then you have them mint it, because they can just go to Dracula and mint it themselves, or they
So
can go to
Dracula, like you said, is looking to become the TikTok on chain. So
exactly.
once you create your Dracula account and create content, and if you've connected it to Twitter, you've connected it to Farcast, it connects to Zora. This automatically disperses, not automatically, I guess you have to toggle those, choice features. But Dracula is the platform for the content creation or content origination, and then it distributes to these other platforms.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is. So this is just all part of the funnel, how you, and just like when the traditional metrics, like you have Spotify, YouTube, you might have a bigger following on YouTube, but they're directing them to a central point, right? So just think of those as, like I said, you don't need to build the Farcaster. It's helpful because it's one more distribution channel, but
Sure.
focus on X and then get them to go on to Dracula. So let's now go back to our Dracula account. All right. So let's see, where am I? So many. All right, so we're on this one, right? All right. Actually, this is Warpcast. So let me share this up. All right, so now I'll go back to Dracula. And again, Dracula should be like the home base, I think, for people. So I just showed you that you minted it directly, and now it goes on Dracula. So if I'm scrolling my Dracula feed and I build a following on Dracula, just like on TikTok, they can mint it directly there. Number one.
Is Dracula getting people? Are they like, how are they, it's, I mean, really fascinating what they're doing and really ambitious, of course. but how has their participation been so far?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they've established themselves as like an on-chain, like the on-chain TikTok, like, but we're so early to this on-chain world, like we're really early that it's not like catching any popularity. But that leads to, and I don't know the metrics as to how much people are making, but I do know that like it's like early days TikTok. No one in the outside world is using anything on-chain because it's really complex, which is why I'm doing these
How many
streams.
people are on the platform, if I may ask, or if you're even aware?
I have literally no idea. That's something I would love to have Alex from the creator to come on, and I'm going to try to hit him up. I've been in his DMs, and I think that would be a really interesting question. I do feel though that like I wasn't around when TikTok just created, but I do feel that we're so early that we whoever is a creator that can really push this and make content viral and become they have a really easy chance to go big on Dracula because there's no competition. No one.
Bill, if you're able to get Alex on, I'd love for you to have me back. I'd love to be part of, asking a gentleman like that questions because, I'd love to learn personally, but I also love to be able to share things with people that I think are going to be, helpful in their lives. I think you and I share a lot of those same qualities that way. If we can, empower others to succeed doing things, I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head, man. I would love to. So honestly, now that I know that there's an interest in this thing, we have over 2,300 live viewers, which is phenomenal. And shout out to everyone watching. So obviously there's a demand and an interest in what we're doing. So after
Oh,
this
there's
is done,
2,300 people viewing right now.
yeah,
Oh,
live.
that's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
that's great. So, because I think what you're sharing with everyone here, Bill, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today as well, is, I think there's obviously a desire for people to understand what their potential capabilities are within. Hey, they're out there, they're socializing, they're interacting, they're creating content, sometimes purposely, sometimes, accidentally, but maybe there's an interesting way that they could not only have fun with this, but figure out how to monetize it.
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, and so I bring up that the lady Naomi, and she has a great story, and she
Great
was
story.
like the one who's a track and field star from Great Britain, and like her life changed because she was telling me like, and again, if you haven't listened to it, check out the podcast. It's on my YouTube. Actually, it's on my Pods on Medium. Basically, she was like posting on YouTube and Instagram, and she built a following, but she was never able to monetize it. And it wasn't until the on-chain world came in and she started posting there that like now she has money to just money. She doesn't have to worry about money anymore, and she could just focus on training. And that's because the on-chain economy has followed her journey and wants to support her. Because you have to understand too, Lou, the people of the Farcasters of the world, the people that are pushing the on-chains of the world, they need creators to bring this to the masses. They want to support creators who are going to focus on being a part of the on-chain economy because the on-chain economy is only going to go as far as creators push it, right? That's how the effect goes. They want to support interesting creators, and shout out to Masonic Magician if he's still here. He's a man. He was on the podcast. We'll be featuring him next week. He came in live. We did it in person. He's a magician. And I talked to him and I'm like, dude, you have such a great story. Like, let's get your content on chain because there's millions of people around the world potentially that would love to be a part of your magic journey, whether it's showing tricks, whether it's whatever the case may be, just like what Naomi. And I want him to go and push that out. And I think he could be very successful. Anyone with talent, if you're a creator, if you're funny, you're inspiring, whatever the case is, the on-chain world needs it. So they're gonna push it. So back to this Dracula, and
Let
I
me
just
ask
want
you an
to
intermediate question while you're in between thoughts here.
sure.
So, how does YouTube interact with this, or does it not, or is there like you're able to post directly to Farcast or to Warpcast and to Twitter and to Zora? Is there a YouTube bridge as well?
No, so remember though, this is like the YouTubes and Instagrams of the world are thought highly down upon with the on-chain world. Just understand that.
Oh,
But then
because of the way that monetization
exactly,
occurs and
it goes
where it
against
displaces. Yep,
it goes against the ethos of the entire on-chain world.
got it,
So
got it,
they will never integrate anything onto YouTube or
got
Instagram,
it.
and rightfully so, because they want to give the power back to the creator. And that's what the on-chain economy is doing, giving the power back to individuals like me and you who are, pushing whatever to empower ourselves. And so that's how that's going. Now, last thing I'll show you is, all right, so you asked what Zora. So, all
Yep.
right. So now let's go to, okay, so we're on here. We're back here. Now, on this blue button, when you decide to link a Zora account, and again, I'm not going to go through it. Just go to Zora, basically it's zora.co. You'll create an account.
Zora.co.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zora, Zora.co. Once you do it, you link it to your Dracula. Then you have this blue icon. So when you click the blue icon, you will now get into this page. So now you're on Zora. It automatically comes onto your Zora. Now from Zora, you'll have your account, you have your dashboard. Forget about these rewards. This was from something else. Although
And Zora is just another social media platform.
it's kind of like the think of it like an open sea where people can like scroll and see things that you mint. So if you look at it, you can see just random people have minted stuff. You can like explore different things. People post their art. It's just like a different people post like their videos. So it's like open sea, but not for NFTs, if that makes sense. And
So,
so it's
so I can go in there and purchase other people's
exactly,
posted art.
exactly. Yep. You can buy any. So say for instance, you like this random thing. All right, you like this lady walking the street and you want to mint it, you mint it. And you decide how many you want to mint. Obviously, the cost is based on whatever they decide to put. So you can mint it directly. So the same thing is when you post on to Dracula, then let's see. When you post on Dracula, you're gonna get your page as well. So
And
yeah,
Zora, you said, was like a toggle when you're posting on Dracula.
exactly.
You had that toggle option to post on Zora. Why would you not? Like, tell me the. I get it. It's a choice thing, but why not?
You know, you should. You really
I mean,
should.
it sounds like right. I mean, if you're someone that's a content creator, it seems like it would be to your advantage to put your content out, cast as wide of a net as possible if you want people to enjoy your content.
Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You just need to see the opportunities are out there and you should cast it as to as many places as possible because it doesn't take much time. Now you have to start funneling the traffic into these sites, but you now have different platforms to be discovered. And it's showing, you're using the on-chain tools, as you can say. So back to Zora. So again, that's what Zora is. And if you decide, all your Dracula videos will go onto this, and if you decide if you decide you want to post other things on your account, you can. Super simple. All you do is you just posted other things as
Is Zora another?
and
Yeah, I
what you'll
lost
do
you for a
is
second. I
you'll
lost you
click
for a
this.
second there, Bill. Uh, is Zora another platform where
Mhm.
you need to create followers also, so your content is distributed towards people that are going to see it?
No, I mean I wouldn't say that because I think that could be your like in sales, that could be like your call to action. Go to Zora and Mint, or like that could be your landing page. You don't necessarily need to have people already following you. That could just be like the site you direct people to. Mint on Zora, boom, you know? So I wouldn't necessarily need to build a following because I don't really feel like anyone's like just like, scrolling Zora. I think that's like with OpenSea, that's the
Mm,
final destination you send them to.
got it. Yep. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So for instance, if I decide, so Zora goes on here, I mean, sorry, Dracula videos will be posted on here, but if I ever want to post something myself and I posted a few things, then I can just do it. And so you'd hit the plus sign. Thinner is a little slow, but basically you put the plus sign, then you can actually charge how much you want per mint, things of that nature. So it's extremely cool. So just to summarize, there's three different things we should do. Dracula, that's your go-to. You'll be able to mint it directly onto once you post something there, you'll be able to mint it directly onto X. You can mint it then onto Zora, and you could also mint it onto Warpcast. Create a Warpcast account, very important.
Bill, I lost you. Bill says I'm in the show, but I can't see you.
Lou, I don't know if you can hear me, Lou, but can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh yeah, my whole connection went out completely bad. So anyways, long story short, Dracula, get an account there. That's my first thing. Download on the App Store. Instantly push it to Zora, and then you can post it on X. Any of those, and X is your home base probably. So start pushing people to these platforms and just check it out. And then that's what I would do. Now, if you're one last thing I'll show you guys is pods.fm. Now, if you're a content creator and you are, or sorry, pods.media, if you're a content creator and you're doing podcasts or maybe longer clips, 10, 15 minutes, the site you're going to use is pods.media. They're the ones who have helped me. And shout out to them for, utilizing their platform. Pods.media is super cool. Again, this is only for podcasts, again, or clips. And here you have a trending page. These are the type of things people have minted: 3,600 mints, 3,197. I mean, if you have around this, you're probably making around 2 ETH per se, but more depending on what you charge. And so you definitely explore different podcasts and you have mint activity. So this is how I've done mine. So if I go to my dashboard, this is the late night on bases one. So this is where I've, had different people collected and stuff like that. And so when you're on here, you have to apply to get on here. But once you start pushing things, then that's how you create things. And you can also, like I said, if you decide I want to do a new episode, if you're on pods.media, here you would put all your information, the artwork, the media, and then here you can say how much you want to charge. So you would say, hey, this is my public price. I would say 0.1 ETH or whatever the case is. So you can definitely charge much more on these type of sites. So you have to figure out kind of what's your goal and focus on one. That would be my number one suggestion, Lou. Do you want to produce, funny videos? Use Dracula. Do you want to produce podcasts like you were saying, interviews? Make some, then apply on Pods Media. And then if you want art or something, I would still use Dracula. I would use Dracula for most things. And if you are going to do podcasts, then just focus on Dracula, maybe putting like 60-second clips, kind of like TikToks, and then put the main videos onto Pods Media. But at the end of the day,
what if I wanted to just, this conversation we had today, what's the platform that, we're on StreamYard, right?
yeah,
Does StreamYard then, save this content for you? Then you're
yeah,
able to put it onto Dracula and then it distributes to those other places. Like, where do you, like, for a conversation again like this? So I want to talk to a founder of a project and I want to hear about what they're doing, what they're building. Where would I create that content to then transpose it into Dracula and then distribute it to the
yeah.
others?
I mean, most of my podcasts are done on StreamYard. So what I do is I do it on StreamYard. I don't do it live. I do it recorded, and then I put it to post editing with my team, and it saves the files. So if you're ever doing a podcast digitally like this, you use either, I would suggest StreamYard just because I'm familiar with them, but there's a bunch of other Riverside, all that.
I'm sure.
Use StreamYard, saves the video, and then, you can edit it to make it into an actual podcast where it's the 50 set, however long this is. So what you could do is you can have this 45 minutes, and that's not a bad idea. And then that's officially now a podcast. It's a live stream that you just make into a podcast, just edit it. Anything's a podcast long form. And then
Sure.
what you could do is then you can cut out, like, what I would do is then if you have like a 40-minute conversation, I would then maybe make like 4 or 5 different like promo clips, 50 seconds, because attention span's low, to get people interested. Maybe like a 30-second clip of the longer form episode of something that's interesting. Then I would take that clip, create like a TikTok, I guess, reel. Like, if you see some of my stuff, it's like with the captions and like, it just attention spans. You want people for the first 30 seconds to be like, wow, that's interesting. I want to know more. I would post that on Dracula and then, put whatever hashtag, and then I would then in the description say full episode on, for instance, pods.media. So then I would then take that clip or YouTube, whatever. And then first of all, I would try to apply. Initially, you're not going to be able to just go on Pods Media because there's a submission process. So they kind of need to see your work. So what I would do then is I would create a YouTube account, kind of like I do. And you could also distribute on Spotify. You can distribute on YouTube, Apple Podcasts. And I can always help you with that anytime, Lou. But then you put it on YouTube and you put the full video there. So there you have on Dracula, you have it on YouTube. So that's how I do it. And then I would put the short clip once you put it on Dracula, then it also will go into Warpcast and on Zora. So now you have distribution on 4 different sites. There you go.
And the sites that you can mint directly from are the Onchain ones. So the Zora, the Dracula, and Warpcast.
Yeah, and if you're a podcaster, then it would be on Pods Media.
On Pods.media.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
I would say that would be my general principle as to how it would start. Don't worry about anything else. I think right there and then is all that you need to start your on-chain journey. I think the other sites are very niche. I know there's, I know, for instance, if you want to mint your own token, I think there's something called Moxie. There's a lot of different things, but you can't know it all, right? So I think figure out what you want to put on chain. Once you know that, then let's figure out the best place to do it. I would say 90% of the best place is on Dracula. But again, if you're a writer or a subscription-based model, you want to write a newsletter, there's different things of that nature. And we can talk about that. And I think on the next episode, I do want to get the founder of Dracula on. And again, I'm going to tell him, hey, man, come on the podcast, or actually come on the live stream. We'll set it up. And then you can hop in, Lou. We can answer questions, and we can just really dive deep into the on-chain world. So, yeah, man.
I mean, we could learn together on that piece of it. And, what I like about you, Bill, and I think we share this, is, our inquisitive nature. And it is not asking questions because we want to degrade a conversation. We want to be able to share it at a level where people can relate to it. So that's always why I ask the questions I ask, not because I'm denigrating anything. If I'm denigrating something, I'm not even paying attention to it.
Absolutely.
I don't give oxygen to shit that I don't care for. I would love to be a part of that if you're able to put that together, because I'd love to be able to ask a gentleman like that some questions, so that, again, if the idea is to be able to share this with other people, so that they can take a journey as well, just like you're doing with me, right?
Absolutely, man. No, and I like it too, because I get smarter as well, right? And I get smarter to kind of learn it and just really, like I said, I get fulfillment helping people, and also I learn a lot too, because I feel this is untapped territory, and I like to be a part of the cutting edge of things. And I wouldn't have known what's possible without Naomi's help and without me seeing that Jesse Pollock. And again, it's not about the money. I don't care about 1.5 ETH or whatever. I literally don't care. But it just showed me, hey, this is cool. I'm not getting that on Spotify. I'm not getting it on YouTube. And I still want that. I still want to have that avenue to put stuff, because I do feel the retail users, the 1 billion users that hopefully get on chain, are going to be using those platforms, not on chain yet. And that's cool. But let me add.
Now, what's the permission structure, Bill? So you got a Jesse Pollock. So, and you've interviewed this Olympic athlete as well. So, what process do you have to go through as a content creator, as far as distribution and monetization of said content, with folks like, let's say you're able to get, somebody, I don't know. You know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
I think you know where I'm going with this. Is it permissionless, or because it's content, it's not?
No, I mean, I think if you come on my show, I own the rights to that footage. I mean, that's just how, as I view it.
Fair.
Yeah.
So that's the signing at the bottom line, is the willingness to do the interview, is basically.
I think I haven't had anyone ever hesitate to that. It's a win-win. They're coming on to spread a message, to help their brand. I'm here to help people's brands. Obviously, I get good content myself, but that's how and I think that's probably how it is on any talk show. You come on the show, whatever clips, it's on my show, I own that, right? And so it's never been an issue, but I think.
Yeah, no, I was on Oprah twice. Trust me, nobody asked my permission for her to distribute the content, right?
Yeah. So I think that's how it works. But yeah, I think that's the cool thing about creating content for people to see. It's a mutually beneficial thing for everybody. So first of all, I do have to end things, but Lou, I do want to eventually talk about this Oprah thing. I actually had no idea. That's actually really cool. That you're on Oprah. But yeah, man, you have any last questions before we wrap it up?
No, I'm sure I'll have some follow-up questions. I just want to kind of process the conversation today. But I think you've given myself and everybody that's viewing this kind of a very basic skeletal structure that they have to create for themselves to at least put themselves in a position to share content and potentially monetize it and bring it on chain. So I think it's a great initial conversation, Bill, and I'm sure I'd like to probably do a follow up with you at some point, and keep going forward.
Absolutely. And like I said, Lou, if there's any questions you have, like, dude, like hit me up anytime.
Yeah,
Happy
I'll
to help
reach
anyone
out.
listening to this. It's crazy. We have 4,000 viewers. Not bad. That's pretty legit. So if anyone has any questions, please hit me up on the DMs. I'm here to help. I'm here to teach. I'm here to, hopefully, like I said, if one of you were listening actually makes it big, that's fantastic, because I know I had a little part of that journey. That's more than enough for me. So everyone, I appreciate you. If you guys stick around, I'm actually doing another live stream. If you like altcoins, I'm going to be doing a live stream in about 2 minutes with Chaos Chris. We're going to talk about markets. That's fun too. But Lou, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Bill. Have a great day, my friend.
You too. Bye,
Talk to
everyone.
you.